Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to start this out by saying that I do apologize. This episode is a little bit shorter than what they normally are. They tend to run about 10 minutes. This one, it comes in somewhere around like 7. And really, the reason for that is I just ran out of time to build this week. I had a bunch of other kind of stuff going on, and it just led up to me not having as much time as I would have liked to build, which really it only cut out like one building. So it's really not like that big of a, change, but yeah. So whenever I was building these buildings here, I had a pretty difficult time trying to figure out which buildings I actually wanted to put into this section of the city. And these are the 3 that I came up with. So this one here it turned out I was trying to make it like a sort of hub, like, I don't know, like a kind of a city hub or something, not really like a town center, but maybe somewhere where like some officials and stuff were situated. But I decided actually what I'm going to do is in this sort of lore, I guess, of the city, because this, like I've mentioned before, the world is not connected. So just in the lore of this city, everything that you would imagine from like fantasy settings exists. So you have like health potions, you have like mythical monsters, you have people that go out and slay them, you got, just kind of like imagine like a D&D setting. That's basically, the world that this city sort of exists in, right? So whenever I decided to do that, I thought, where do you go to get this stuff from? So this is sort of a traveler's tavern, traveler's guild, traveler's whatever you want to call it, where you can go in here, and it's basically like a big shop, right? So it's like you come in here, you can get stuff you need on your adventure. So basically, this is sort of mainly an apothecary, where, they would make the health potions and that sort of thing. But he also has some odds and ends that adventurers and travelers may need. So like, there's different gear that you can get, different wardrobe, different maybe swords, different things that would help you out on your journey, basically. I could sit here all day and name off things, but you guys get the gist. So because that is such a main aspect sort of in this world, or in the lore sort of here of the city, this building needed to be big, and it needed to be sort of standoutish, and I think this does it. And, I went through kind of prettied it up with these flowers and stuff. I try not to use the cherry blossom as much, but for this building, with it being an apothecary, like the whole upstairs basically is going to be a greenhouse, kind of, like just sort of there by the windows. It fits. So then we jump into this building here, and as you can see, I struggled there at first. I used to build angled buildings all the time. As a matter of fact, I have an entire series. It's a mini-series, but a series nonetheless, where just about every building in that village was at an angle. So if you're interested in seeing that, it is the Aylesbury Village series, playlist, whatever you want to call it. You can find that over on my channel if you scroll down. I believe it's at the very bottom. But, yeah, that was built in Conquest Reforged. So, anyways, if you guys are interested in seeing that, pop on over, watch that, and then tell me what you think. So this one, I was really just kind of thinking of, like, those Wild West buildings, like the American West, where you sort of had the balconies looking over the street. And I know down on the harbor builds of the city, I kind of talked about how whenever you get those overhangs, it really makes you feel kind of immersed in the world, because that's normally how they would do it with those overhangs. But with this, I wanted it to be kind of different. So this, where the balcony sits, is kind of off on like a back alleyway, like a back alley walkway. It's not the main road, it's just kind of sort of like a spur off. I think with the balcony, it turned out it actually looks pretty good. I tried this a couple different angles, and this one I think comes out to be about 78 degrees or so, and this one looks the best. Especially with the balcony and stuff, so that's the one that I decided to go with. I do want to apologize. Some of these angles and stuff for this building and the next one are very tight, and they're very awkward, and you do miss out on some of the build, and it's truly just because of the angle. And again, I do apologize for that, but there's really not too much I can do. So to compensate, I kind of have sort of like a fly through, just a real quick one, maybe 10 seconds worth, where you can kind of see these buildings a little bit more like a little bit from different angles. So with this build here, I've been contemplating building one of these structures here for a while. I don't even know what you want to call it, like the style of building, but I think it turns out pretty cool. It's really like a realistic sort of medieval fantasy build. I don't even know, but yeah. So most of the time, people use this sort of style for like a church or something along the lines of that. I decided to turn it into like a the word is escaping me right now of what the building's actually called, but it's basically like maybe if you're low on food or low on money or something like that, you can come here to this place and they basically loan it to you. Yeah, I'm not really sure what kind of building that would actually be called, but yeah, so again, if you were like low on food or low on coin or something, you can come here, they basically loan it to you. And so it's, yeah, I'll try to figure out the word for that, but yeah, so there's not too much that I could actually show you on building this structure because it's so tightly packed in there with these other two buildings. So I try to do my best here, but I really do like the way that turned out, and I really do think it kind of fits the vibe that I was going for. But anyways, guys, with that being said, drop me a comment down below. Tell me which one of these 3 buildings are your favorite. I would definitely appreciate it. But with that, I will see you later and catch you on the next one. See you later, guys.